Well, hello and welcome. I made it. I did. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Biz with Joy, Leaders Leaving Legacies. I am Joy Ruffen, and I work as a style and leadership consultant, a signature style specialist, speaker, executive producer, TV host, and podcaster. I know it's a lot. My friends, it's all connected, it's all aligned. I am putting together something here that's so exciting for you. I can hardly wait. But in the meantime, I'm here with you every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My work is with women who are second act, second chapter, midlife. It's only verbiage, it's jargon, it's rhetoric. It means transitioning from one something to another, tired of walking into that closet, going shopping, never finding what they want, never feeling as comfortable and as great as they want to feel in their clothes, maybe feeling they've lost that wow factor. We erase all of that together. And I have a masterclass coming up, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. For now, tonight, I could hardly wait to get to you, but I got wait, because I'm talking about something that's important for all of us. Don't we all want to be enlightened? That's what it's all about. And before I get going, I sometimes forget. Never will I forget to say welcome and thank you for being here. I love good company and I love sharing with you. And if you're here now or for the replay, share us out because sharing is love. And we love to share out what we're all about. Now, tonight, I thought I'd talk to you about something that's endearing for me, and I bet it is for you as well. And the title I made for us tonight is Seek Your Path to Enlightenment. And one simple rule to follow. And I'll give you a little tips and nuggets and tools to work with them in that regard. But one of the things that I've started to do, and I love doing it, I love sharing it with you, and I hope that you enjoy it. And if so, you'll let me know. I'm always open to learning, a perennial ongoing student. And that is starting with a quote that connects and relates to the title. And as I do my research and decide how I'm going to do this with you, it's so invigorating. It's so educational, enlightening. It's so impactful in so many ways. Quotes are fun and they leave you with so much food for thought. And for those of you who don't know, I love that expression, food for thought. So here's a quote that I came up for tonight. The title is Seek Your Path to Enlightenment and One Simple Rule to Follow. And we're going to go a little bit beyond that one simple rule. But here's a quote that I thought would fit what we'll be talking about tonight greatly, deeply. And there are many of the new people who have sayings and quotes that they make. And then there's the old, back in the day, way back. And this one is by one of those. And this is what he said. He said, the ear is the avenue to the heart. Don't you love profundity? The ear is the avenue to the heart. Well, we're talking about enlightenment, right? And that was by Voltaire. Voltaire. Way back in the day. But if you are a voracious reader and you like to read and you like to keep up to speed with all the brilliance and wisdom that's allowed or available to us, then you'll know who I'm talking about. And this one is someone that I never heard of. Many of them I haven't, but I will still want to edify them for all the reasons that are important for me and I hope for you. Because my word, along with others, but one of the big ones for me is legacy. And legacy, we're living it right here and now, no matter what generation you're in. And you want to make sure that no perfect. There'll be things that they'll be said about you that won't be so fantastic. But overall, the outstanding work and love that you share will be remembered. And that's what we mean about legacy, whether it's in a small circle or a huge circle. And I'm thinking about the people that we all know now as iconic. Steve Jobs and, there's so many. And Audrey Hepburn, because I know Coco Chanel, all of the presidents. But you could be in that category too. This is what this person said. I'll give you the name later because I really never heard of, but it doesn't matter. Enlightenment must come little by little Otherwise, it would overwhelm. Hmm. And that was said by somebody that I'm not familiar with, but it's Iris Shaw, Shahidries. Never heard of it. I think it's a lady. I don't know. I didn't do further research, but it's so true. Enlightenment must come little by little, because enlightenment is a journey that we're on to self-discovery. That's what it's all about. So that said, just taking those two in, let's begin with someone that the majority of people know and know him well. In fact, so much so, my friends, that he is in the news constantly of late. There's a little kid coming out of me again. And here's what he had to say about enlightenment. I don't know many people, you might not use the word, but who are not seeking whatever that enlightenment means to you. That's another discovery. But here's what he said. Really, the only thing that makes sense is to strive for greater collective enlightenment. I'm going to say that again, because this is my belief. Not that mine has to be right, and not that I have to agree with him, but it resonated with me, and I wanted to share it with you. Really, it started, this quote, the only thing that makes sense is to strive for greater collective enlightenment. And that's pretty profound. That's kind of deep. And that was said by Elon Musk, M-U-S-K. Not many people in this universe here and now don't know of him, whether you like him or not. He's out here. He's in the stratosphere. He's in the circle. He's everywhere. That's what he had to say. And whatever your beliefs might be about him, that made sense to me. Because you know that we are all a part of this great, big, humongous, there's no word for it, collective. And we're all at different levels. I didn't say we're better. Nobody's better, no matter if you're at the top of that collective, circle, group, tribe. You're not any better. You just have a little bit more, maybe expertism and whatever, and life experiences. Doesn't mean you're better. That's where the issues comes in that we've all had to deal with. Remember, we are all one. We are all one. Part of this big collective. And what he said is to strive for greater collective enlightenment. That means that those might be, if we're going to do, I'm going to use numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're 8, 9, 10. Well, your assignment, because you're part of the greater collective, is to make sure that you share that enlightenment that you gain with those who are at the lower levels. Doesn't mean they're less than you. But this is where we have our issues. And along with that, my friends, I want to bring into the conversation that we're having tonight. And again, welcome. Because this is where many have gone astray when it comes to leadership. And for me, and my prayer is for you as well, if you're here now or later for the replay, it's really all about leadership, your own leadership of self first. And there's many components that go into that, elements, keys, which we talk about. Leadership, and for me, because my work is predominantly with women, femininity in all of its aspects at its highest vibration, power that's authentic and shared, power-filled, love, truth, and beauty. Integrity is the umbrella that all of that goes under. And that's where we've gone amiss. And so I'm going to share with you these 7 words that connect and relate to seeking your path to enlightenment, because without these attached, the words, the actions, and the deeds, unless this is a part of it and ingrained in you, your heart and soul, then something is really amiss. And we're talking about ethics. We're talking about integrity, values, honor, character, principles. And I'm going to add in morals. morality. Where did it go? I'm not negative. I'm not pessimistic. In fact, just the opposite. Quite optimistic about what's going to happen and what's coming into the fold here. But that's where we began, with ourselves. And if we can't do that, then really something is amiss. And a lot of people, not because maybe it was a choice made, but some of those 7 characteristics of their persona, personality, presence is missing. And that leadership will not be iconic and something that will be left for others to partake of. And people who have those traits are the front runners. Didn't say they were perfect. Perfect is a word that's gotten so many of us screwed up because there is no such animal. Yet there is something that, like rising to the best of the best within you, meaning that you compromise sometimes, but you don't settle. You don't say that it's just okay, it's just that and the other. And when the work that you're doing involves truth, love, and beauty, you're more direct about what you're doing and how you go about it. So I thought that starting off with those quotes which connect to enlightenment was meaningful and fitting. Leadership is the ability to embrace those qualities and work towards being a guide, a mentor, a coach, a consultant, a wayshower. There's just so many words, but what are the actions? How are you relaying that expertism and influence that you have that will benefit others? So much verbiage, so much rhetoric and jargon out here. I happen to love the clubhouse. I pop in and out of there like boom, 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 because we're all so active and I'm doing this, that, and the other, as you are, I'm sure. And I hear so much that I'm saying, what's happened to us? Why are we scaling down, down, down rather than spiraling up, up, up? What happened to the real search, the real adventure to grab on to real, authentic, genuine truth, love, and beauty? Where did that go? Something went amiss. And hubby and I were talking today, and I think he made a very good point, because I'm saying it's because of this, that, and the other, music and industry, and a lot of the music that I'm not overly fond of, but I thought it brought out too much of the sexuality, which Hollywood always did. But he said, no, I think it's when in business we began the inroads into casual Friday. And then because people were spending a lot of money to get ready to dress to come, and some couldn't before. And it could go on. We could have this conversation. It could be never ending. But I thought, you know what? That's an interesting point. Never thought about that. And what I neglected to ask, and I think Casual Fridays, when did that start? In the maybe early 60s? I'm not sure. But maybe that has some impact and meaning about what's happened to so many of us. There's nothing wrong with casual, but casual has become sloppy and it's become messy, and a lot of the whatever is lost. And to take this a wee bit further, I hope you'll get a laugh out of this. I hope you get a chuckle out of this, because to me, I found it amusing. And because I work predominantly with women, and women who are somewhat like myself, who are transitioning from one something to another and wanting to amp up their wow factor and don't want to be frumpy. You don't want to be outdated. You don't want to be invisible, ignored, and insignificant. Who wants that? No one that I know, not a single one. And yet we know that there's work that we have to do. And then I was thinking today about how women used to dress and how we no longer dress, and how it's really now about showing. And this ties in with enlightenment. So I'm not leaving this alone with showing the body, because when we talk about, and there's nothing wrong with these that I'm going to mention to you, but I want you to be thinking about this, because we went, wow, far away from here. When I think about the Quakers and the Pilgrims back in the day, at the beginning, and the Mormons and the Amish and the Middle Eastern women who still dressed, all covered up and everything. The freedom, the individuality of showing and dressing, that's where we're at. We're searching for our own enlightenment about how we show up. And let me share with you that I'm going to say it again. I'm not a prude. I'm not prudish, far from proper, prissy, and petty. No, 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 no. But I have a strong sense of entitlement. I know when it's right. And we have just gone too far over to the dark side. That said, let me share this with you. Because, by the way, I just want to put up my business page. Take a screenshot or snapshot and join me there, because I'm going to ask you to join my group, Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. And when you join this group, you'll see that it is lined up to share with you a lot of things that will benefit you. I just realized I have the wrong banner up there. I love mistakes, but that's okay. Join us there. Take a screenshot or a snapshot. You can get to my Facebook business page, or you can join the group here. And then this is the other thing I want you to take a screenshot or snapshot of. And this is everywhere. We have posted it everywhere. The masterclass is coming up on July the 13th. And you don't want to miss this masterclass, because if you are interested in fashion or style or individuality and the freedom of showing up you always at your best, then you're going to want to attend here. So just take a snapshot of that. And that said, again, just two different links there. And the other thing that I want to say is that if you are wanting to have a conversation and talk about a lot of the different things that are meaningful and impactful to you, and also I'm also always looking for featured guest speakers. I secure a marginal fee, but trust me, it's worth it, because we give you a show like none other, and you'll be able to use this in so many ways. So make sure that you take a snapshot of everything here, and then we can see if we could have a meeting of the minds. And I'm booking now for July and August. And back to what I was talking about. Somehow what's happened to us, for those who maybe are not seeking enough of their own sense of entitlement and enlightenment, what I meant to say is seeking enough of their entitlement, entitlement has come into the fold. See how I misconstrue those words? It's easy to do that. And what's happened is that too much of a sense of privilege and superiority has creeped into the fold. And that's what you don't want. And when you are really about enlightenment and seeking it for yourself, and this is not preachy, this is just a fact, then you're not going to be overly worried or concerned, because you'll be on the path of your own self-discovery. And that's what I'm about, my mission, my purpose, and my calling, and working with women for all the varying reasons that I know we need each other. And we need to know how powerful we are and how power-filled we can be when we get to know who we are. Because all that jealousy, envy, copy, mirroring, and emulating others, it begins to go by the wayside. You don't have time for it because you're too busy on your path to what you're here to do. And you applaud and celebrate everyone else, even if they're very much akin to what you are doing. Because we as women, we have to start not to think like men, because we are emotional beings, thank God. And we are to use our emotions in the best way, the mastery of ourselves. That's what we need to be about. And we can't do that until we get to know and go probe and go inside to get to the light that's inside of us. I think it was the other day, so many quotes I can't remember. It said that everything that we're seeking, and we've all heard this, there's so much, oh, here I go again. There's so much rhetoric out here about, love yourself and being powerful and an influencer, and it's not there. And you don't have to be a mind reader or a psychic to see and feel and sense that so many people are just not knowing, no matter what their brilliance might be, exactly who they are and what they're here to do, so that they can be power-filled in their stand and what they're doing. Because once you begin to get into the knowing of you and seek your enlightenment and then share it, you don't have time to be jealous and copy and emulate other people. You're all about applauding and celebrating others, and you're about building a community that will give you that sense of mastery so that you can share that with others. And it takes a lot of emotional healing, security, and intelligence. And we all have that capacity to get there. It's just about being honest enough. And that we go back to the ethics, integrity, and honesty. You know, a brief short story with someone who attempted to cover up something that they did that it wasn't that it was unethical, but they weren't able to share with me the truth of what they did. And rather than say, I did it like this because I thought, they attempted to cover it. You know, you can color things a wee bit, but when you're on your path to your own enlightenment, you don't have time for that. There's so many ways that you can tell stories and lie, down outright lie. And when you're on your path to glory, you don't have time for that. Just be honest. And honesty, oftentimes, especially when people are not in the process of their own discovery, it can be very, very painful. And no one wants to cause pain. So that's why words are great, but the action and how you deliver them and how you connect and relate to someone. I went into a brief short story that connects to everything that we're talking about here, because it's about how you connect and relate to people once you begin to find your own sense of who. And I have been without my actual glasses for about a month here now. And the person that I was working with had said they would be ready here and there. But they did call me to say there was a delay. And then they called me to say that they were ready. And then when I went in, they weren't right. And he had rushed, not him, but the person that I was working with, to get them done. But you know what he did, which was really touching, because I'm not a demonstrative person. My hand was on the counter, and he reached and he put his hand on top of mine, and he said, Joy, I know you're not happy, and neither am I. But please give me another week. It will take that to correct what we did wrong, and I will make this up to you. But what he did is he reached out to touch, because he knew that I was not happy with this news. But how could you be bombastic and blast out in a loud kind of way how unhappy you were when somebody reaches out to say they're sorry, to ask for forgiveness, and they're going to make it right, and they're touching you? It's all the little things that we do to share that enlightenment of knowing how to connect and relate to people. And bouncing and popping in and out of this clubhouse, I'm hearing, and this is not, I'm not going to qualify. There's so much fabrication there. There's so many people who are using words, and you can just feel, you can just sense that there's no integrity there. There's no heart and soul connected there. They heard it somewhere, they know it's popular, and they're using it. This is the way of the universe. But my friends, don't allow that to be your method and manner and style of connecting. Be honest with yourself first, and then connect and relate to other people. And don't ever tap dance if you can't avoid it around anything. Come right up front and share whatever it is that you have to see. Because if you're in leadership, and that's what we are about here in this community that we're building, you are about rising to your highest frequency and vibration. You are not going to be about belittling those who are at the lower. There's no need. Because if you're going to be your authentic self and keep climbing and rising and scaling to the top without judgment, with infinite, limitless, unconditional love, whatever's going to come to you will come to you. It's all under the same umbrella. So that said, I just want you to remember two things here. And it'll be easy to remember. The masterclass, take a screenshot, take a snapshot, whichever works, and jot down this date and go to the event and register. I'd like to get an idea of how many of you are going to show up, because you're not going to be disappointed. This time I have a better handle on it. You learn as you go. And the other thing is by the way, My partner and I, Sonia Lowe, we love the clubhouse, and we hope that you'll love it too. I'm just beginning to get the rhythm of how to navigate it, missing some bolts there, but join us every Thursday at 2 p.m. for the Purposeful Podcaster, and then again at 6 p.m. for a League of Leading Ladies. And if you ever want to have a conversation and you want to make an appointment so we can meet each other, I love eyeball to eyeball meet, so I can see you, so I can hear you, and we can see if we can have a meeting of the mind and see what we can do to support one another. I would love that. So don't hesitate. I have some, well, let's just hold off until the time comes so that we can meet and greet each other and see how we can be supportive of each other. And just remember this: your path to enlightenment is yours. It doesn't belong to anybody else. You are unique. You are an individual who has a sense of wholeness and a specialness about you that no one else has. So allow that to shine, allow that to show up. And hubby and I were having coffee today, and he said, and I said, the Queen's birthday is tomorrow, the 24th. So I said, is that Victoria? Or he says, they combine them as they did with the President's Day here. I said, oh, but here's what I want to leave you with. I've said it before, and I'm saying it again, and I'll continue to say it. Don't forget how royal you are. Don't forget how regal, majestic, and stately you are. I don't care what realm you're in and what classification, how you label yourself or others. Know your royal, divine self. Embrace that self. Take he or she everywhere that you go and do it in love. And people will begin to recognize it. And those who don't, leave them. Don't bother to judge or to say they're not ready. It's their issue, not yours, because you are royal and regal and divine and majestic and stately. Embrace that, because you are. And my friends, I leave you every week with the same. I send you much love from my heart to your heart. Be well and stay safe. Much love, my friends. See you soon, like tomorrow night at 7. Cheers.